Are robots coming for your paycheck? All right, let's get one thing straight. Every time you scroll through your newsfeed, it's there. That headline screaming, AI is coming for your job. It's like the new Jaws, but instead of a giant shark, it's a super smart algorithm, and everyone's freaking out. Your uncle at Thanksgiving? Panicking. Your barista who knows your complicated coffee order by heart? Probably a little worried. It's a mood, a whole vibe of impending doom. We imagine a future where robots are flipping burgers, writing symphonies, and maybe even doing our taxes. The fear is real, I get it. We've all seen the movies. Terminator, The Matrix, I, Robot. Hollywood has basically been prepping us for a robot uprising for decades. So before we all sign up for How to Serve Our Robot Overlords 101, let's take a deep breath. Let's investigate. So if AI isn't the lone wolf assassin of employment, then who or what are the real players messing with your job security? Think of it like a crime scene. AI is the flashy suspect everyone's talking about, but there are other fingerprints all over the place. We're talking about big systemic forces. These aren't new, sexy tech buzzwords. They're the kind of things economists write dense papers about, the stuff that makes your eyes glaze over. But stick with me, because understanding these is key to understanding your future. First up, let's talk about good old-fashioned economic shifts. Recessions, depressions, booms, busts. The economy is like that one friend who's always going through. When the economy tanks, businesses tighten their belts. And what's one of the first things to get tightened? Hiring. And sometimes, unfortunately, existing jobs. Then there's globalization. Globalization has been a game changer for decades. It's created wealth, opened markets, and given us access to amazing products from all over the world. But, and it's a big but, it also means companies can move production and jobs to places where labor is cheaper. Let's dive deeper into globalization, because this one's a heavyweight champion of job market disruption. Imagine the world as one giant marketplace. This interconnectedness, fueled by things like the internet, cheaper shipping, and trade agreements, has transformed how businesses operate. They're not just thinking local anymore, they're thinking global. Where can we make things cheapest? Where can we sell things for the most profit? It's a global chess game. Now, this global marketplace has some serious upsides. It can lead to economic growth, lower prices for consumers, that's you, and more choices. But, and you knew there was a but coming, it also means your job might be competing with someone halfway across the world who's willing to do it for a fraction of the pay. Companies, especially big multinational corporations, are constantly looking for ways to cut costs and increase efficiency. If they can get the same work done for less money in another country, well, you do the math. This has led to significant job displacement in manufacturing sectors in Western countries over the past few decades. Okay, let's talk about something called the skills gap. This sounds like a boring HR term, but trust me, it's a big deal. It's like showing up to a potluck dinner where everyone was asked to bring a main course and you brought a bag of chips. The skills gap is essentially a mismatch between the skills employers are looking for and the skills the available workforce actually possesses. Companies are out there, ready to hire, but they can't find people with the right qualifications. It's a frustrating situation for everyone. You might be thinking, but people are educated, people have degrees. And you're right, but the job market is changing at lightning speed. The skills that were in high demand 10 or even 5 years ago might not be the hot ticket items today. Technology is evolving, industries are transforming, and new types of jobs are emerging that didn't even exist before. Section 5, Economic Roller Coasters, Boom, Bust, and Where'd My Job Go? Let's talk about the big one, the elephant in every room, the master puppeteer of job markets, the economy itself. It's a roller coaster, folks. Sometimes you're climbing, hands in the air, screaming with joy. That's the boom. Other times you're plummeting, stomach in your throat, wondering when it's going to end. Hello, recession. These economic cycles have a massive direct impact on employment. When the economy is humming, businesses are expanding, consumers are spending, and jobs are plentiful. Everyone's happy. Companies are hiring like crazy. Your LinkedIn is blowing up with recruiter messages. But when the economy takes a nosedive, it's a completely different story. Businesses see demand shrink, profits fall, and they start looking for ways to cut costs. And what's often one of the biggest costs for a business? Labor. So hiring freezes kick in, layoffs start happening. Section 6, old school automation, the OG job shuffler, still in the game. Before AI was the cool kid on the automation block, there was, well, automation, just plain old regular automation. Think conveyor belts, robotic arms on assembly lines, ATMs, and self-service kiosks. This isn't the stuff of sci-fi dreams where a machine thinks and adapts. This is about machines programmed to do specific, repetitive tasks, often faster, more consistently, and sometimes cheaper than humans. And guess what? This dumber form of automation has been reshaping the job market for decades, even centuries, if you count things like the cotton gin or the power loom. Take the manufacturing sector, for example. For years, we've seen a decline in manufacturing employment in many developed countries. Part of that is globalization, which we talked about, but a huge part of it is also automation. Car factories today employ far fewer people on the assembly line than they did 50 years ago, but they produce more cars. Why? Robots. Robots that weld, robots that paint, robots that lift heavy components. These machines don't get tired. They don't need breaks, except for maintenance. And they can perform tasks with incredible precision. Section 7. Policy power plays, how government moves can make or break your career. All right, let's get into the stuff that often feels invisible but has a huge grip on your job prospects. Government policy and politics. Yeah, I know, sounds like C-SPAN background noise. But trust me, the decisions made in those big fancy buildings can ripple out and directly affect whether you have a job, what kind of job you have, and how much you get paid. Think about minimum wage laws. A government decides to raise the minimum wage. That's a policy decision. It can mean more money in the pockets of low-wage workers, which is great. But some businesses might argue it forces them to hire fewer people or slow down expansion. Trade policies are another huge one. When a government signs a new trade agreement or imposes tariffs on imported goods, it can completely reshape industries. Remember NAFTA, North American Free Trade Agreement? Or more recently, the trade tensions between the US and China. These aren't just abstract economic concepts. They lead to real-world consequences for businesses and workers. Some industries might boom because they suddenly have access to new markets or are protected from foreign competition. Section 8, AI, your new super smart intern, not your replacement yet. Okay, so we've talked about globalization, skills gaps, economic cycles, old school automation, and policy. These are the heavy hitters, the long-standing champions of job market disruption. Now, let's circle back to AI. Where does it actually fit into this picture? Is it the ultimate job-destroying supervillain we've been told it is? Or is its role a little more nuanced? I'm betting on nuanced. Right now, and for the foreseeable future, think of AI less as your replacement and more as your super smart, incredibly fast, slightly weird intern. AI is incredibly good at specific tasks. Analyzing massive data sets? AI can do it in seconds. Identifying patterns? Spot on. Automating repetitive digital tasks? Absolutely. Think about radiologists using AI to help them spot anomalies in scans, or marketers using AI to analyze customer behavior, or writers using AI tools to help with research or first drafts. In these scenarios, AI isn't taking the job, it's augmenting the human worker. It's a tool, a powerful one, that can help people do their jobs better, faster, and more efficiently. It can free up humans from tedious tasks to focus on more complex, creative, or strategic work. A report from the World Economic Forum has consistently suggested that while AI will displace some jobs, it will also create new ones. Section 9. Future-proofing you adapt, learn, and conquer the chaos. So after all this, what's the big takeaway? Is your job safe? Is it doomed? The truth, as always, is somewhere in the messy middle. The world of work is changing, and it's changing fast. AI is a part of that change, yes. But it's riding alongside much bigger waves, globalization, economic shifts, skills gaps, and policy decisions. Blaming AI alone is like blaming the rain for a flood when the levees were already weak. It's a factor, but not the whole story. The real challenge and the real opportunity lies in how we respond to all these changes. The single most important skill in this rapidly evolving landscape? Adaptability. Your ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn will be your superpower. The job you have today might look very different in 5 years, or it might not even exist. New jobs will be created that we can't even imagine right now. Think about it. 10 or 15 years ago, who was a social media manager or a drone operator or an AI ethics consultant? These roles emerged because technology and society changed. Being open to new skills, new ways of working, and new career paths is no longer optional. It's essential for survival and success. Lifelong learning isn't just a buzzword, it's a career strategy.